Hello everyone. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be installing these 535 diesel injectors that came from an E60, and I'm going to be installing them on an M57. This is a 325 diesel. It's an imported E91 that I brought back with me when I was in the UK. So I'll be removing these injectors here. Before I do that, I'm going to actually check if these injectors are any good, like using the leak test here. Going to verify that just to see if they're worth changing the nozzles on them or not. But anyways, I'm going to be putting like the other injectors there. So these injectors, I just got them ultrasonic cleaned. I just basically dipped them in a glass container, and I put some cleaner in there and ran them for about 10 minutes and then another seven minutes, and they came out pretty good. All the carbon pretty much came off the tips and all that. And when I install them, I'm probably also going to do a leak test, see how well they're performing too. Yeah, let's take it further now. What I'll do is right now is I already disconnected the wiring harness on the injectors, and what I'll do next is I'm just going to take off these pins over here, and we'll start the car and see how well they're performing. So just stay tuned. Okay, so I got the pins removed on all of the 6 injectors. Just make sure you use something like a nozzle. What do they call these? The nose pliers. It'll make it a lot easier to when you grab it and just remove it. And just gonna put them right underneath here, and just gently. There you go. It just pops right out. So I'm just gonna do the rest on the rest of the 4 left, and yeah, stay tuned right now. Okay, so I got everything connected here. I got these when I put all the clips back in for all 6 cylinders. Now I'm just gonna put the wire harness back on, and the reason I took them off is just so I can have more space to work with. Now that everything is connected, I'm gonna connect them, and then I'm gonna put this return line into this bucket here just in case there's extra fuel. And yeah, we'll get it started and we can see how it's performing. Okay, we got the car started. Fuel is coming out. And we'll let it run for 2 minutes and then we'll see how much it fills up. Okay, so it's been running for 2 minutes right now, and these are the levels it's at. So everything looks pretty good. So basically what I did is I sprayed some WD-40, and I'm just, before I sprayed WD-40, I actually used my my air hose just to get all the debris out, and then I sprayed some WD-40 inside there just to get any other debris that's still stuck on the walls, and just that way it'll just stick onto inside of this on the tissue here, and we'll have some clean ports there. So far the last one is just the one that's left. Just need a bit more cleaning on that one, and then we should be good to go to install them. After we install them, I'm gonna have to make sure I write down all the codes that are on them. That way, when I'm installing them in sequence, I'm actually gonna code them inside the ECU for the proper injector for each cylinder, so I don't mess them up. Seems like it doesn't want to come out anymore. You will come out, and you shall. Just gonna spray some more air in there just to get any leftover debris. To give you an idea, like, let's see if I can get the light in there properly, like how clean they're supposed to be. Let's see if I zoom out a bit. It's hard to see, but they're pretty clean. Might need to go back to cylinder 4. I find like there's still a bit gum in there, but yeah. Okay, here we're just going to be putting the new well, not the gasket, but the rubber seals and the crush washers that I have here. I'm just going to put them on, and then I already wrote down the codes, if you see here, for all 6 cylinders, and I'm just putting them in sequence. That way when I put them on, I don't put them in the wrong place. So let's go here. There you have it. So obviously this is my first time doing this job here, so I've watched a lot of videos and kind of combined like the knowledge of all those videos into trying to put it all to this one right here. Since I couldn't find a video that actually talks about anybody upgrading their injectors from an M57 325D into getting injectors from a 535D, which are actually bigger. They're not bigger injectors. It's just different nozzle heads, which is going to be pumping out more fuel into the each cylinder. And more fuel is more power, and that's what everybody wants, right? So hopefully I can achieve that with this. Just missing one more here. Let's throw these in garbage. Oh, and if you're looking for the part number for these, got them from here. That's all done. Test these crush washers here and see the part number that I got for these. There. And I believe I got these from Worldpack. They're a company here that distribute wholesale for like mechanic shops in Canada. I'm just going to compare it with the one I have here. So you see the one on the left is the old one and the one on the right is the new one. So let's see here if you can focus. Yeah, they look pretty similar. Hoping I can, well, first I'm hoping to rip this bag open, but hoping to get this job done today. Start it up, see how it runs, and how much of a tune it's going to require. I might have to take it to an actual tuner to get the maximum amount of power out of it. So apologize in advance if like my video is not up to satisfaction with other videos you've seen. Like I don't usually do videos on YouTube, but I thought like, hey, let's try this one out, see how it goes. You guys able to see everything I'm doing, so. And yeah, hopefully it'll help somebody out there who's doing a similar job like I am. It's not a very common thing because I don't think there's a lot of people who have the 325D and upgrading them into the 530. I've heard of like the N47 guys upgrading those same injectors because they're pretty much on the, I think on the E46. They use on the M and the ports and injector ports while you're putting them in. Kind of need to squeeze it from side to side just to get it in there. Oh, this one in pretty nice. Okay, perfect. So these are in. Clean them up. they're ready to be put back in, and yeah, let's go to the other side now. Okay, so here they are. So numbered from 1 to 6. So all is right to left. That's how I do it. These are the old ones. So that's the carbon buildup on these. Not too bad. I was expecting a lot worse, and like with the, like I got this pneumatic injector remover, and like none of the adapters here actually fit on these, so I got it from Amazon, and guess what, I have to do it the manual way. So like spraying a bit of a WD-40 just around, like I figured it out after like getting into like cylinder number 3 or 4 I was there, and I was a bit stuck. But after like putting some WD-40 and just moving it side to side and then letting it sit for like 10-15 minutes, like look how rusted this one is, and it actually came out not bad, like with a screwdriver and just back and forth and vice grip. And yeah, like I think I was a bit lucky compared to seeing some of the videos I saw on YouTube. It's kind of terrified over there. So let's start putting these back together, and yeah, let's hope for the best. All right, so I'll be putting some ceramic grease. This is good up to 3000 Fahrenheit. And just to get a little layer in there, that way it will be easier to put in. And if I ever have to remove them again, it's going to be a lot easier too. It's going to prevent it from rusting so much. Yeah, I was using this this bar over here just for leverage, so that way I'm not putting all the pressure at like that plastic point of the valve cover. Didn't want to crack it, so that way it's spread out across the whole valve cover. So we don't need that anymore. Okay, well, you guys get the idea of like I'm just gonna put the rest in there. That way I'm not wasting any more time. All right, so I got all of them in. I'm just gonna give them a little hammer here just to make sure they're seated properly. Yeah, they're definitely moving more down. Good. Nothing crazy, like no crazy force, just a bit of like force just to get them in there seated. Now they actually all went down a little bit, so now they're good to go. Now I'm just gonna put the nuts back in, and then put those steel hoses on. I'm gonna tighten them by hand first, and then make sure I coat them properly after that. I usually do is I like to use this trick here. I can't reach it. It's actually not that. So what I usually do is sometimes if I'm scared to drop the nut, I just put that there, and that way there. So that way, when you put it upside down, it doesn't fall down. And then once you get the thread on there, it just comes right out. use that. Take mine. Okay, so I've set it at 9 Newton meters to torque those clamps that hold the injectors in. Not a lot of force, but obviously very necessary. Do both sides at the same time. There we go, fine. There we go. So just gonna torque the rest of them. And okay, so I got them all torqued. I'm just gonna put my return line hose back in. Okay. And we're just gonna put the clips back in to hold them in place. Last one. It's in. Put the injector plugs in, but before I do that, I'll probably put the those steel lines first. Get those threaded in, tight it, and then I'll put the injector wires in because they're a lot easier. Make sure you thread each one first, couple of threads before you start tightening all of each one individually. So you got each one threaded in, and then see, this one's not sitting properly, so now I have to open all of them again. Couple of threads in. Just get some tension on it. Okay, so as you see, I was trying to get this tightened in, but it wasn't lining up properly. So what I did is I loosened the two 8mm nuts to just move loosen up the tension, and I was able to move the injector a bit, and now it just threads in a lot easier. So I think what I learned here is probably just get these threaded in first, and then torque in those 8mm nuts. That way everything is just lined up properly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna loosen up and retorque everything just to make sure everything is aligned properly. Okay, so I got everything loosened up. Now that I can tighten them by hand. That's good. That's good. This one is good. And you'll know that if they're aligned or not. It's just that, you know, these are supposed to be threading by hand really nice and easily. And everything now looks pretty good. I'm just gonna make sure I didn't cross thread anything. It's hard to cross thread anything with hand all the way in, so it's always good to double check. Okay, so what I'll do is now I'm just gonna tighten these bad boys just by hand, the 8mm.
Probably shouldn't say bad boys there because you probably don't know what I'm talking about looking from there. Just there. And then I'm going to retorque them. That's good. Yeah, that's what I mean by you just learn, you know, as you go. Don't try to force anything through because you will break something or cross-thread something, and then you're just going to have a bigger problem at that point. Okay, and just retorque them. Okay, everything's torqued there. I'm just gonna get these nice and snug. Honestly, I don't know what the torque specs on these. I don't know if you can get a torque wrench on these because just trying to get them nice and snug. Nothing crazy. We're obviously going to check for any leaks after when we start the car, if it starts. Hopefully starts. Everything's nice and snug. One last check, just want to play with it. Okay, now put these wires in. Okay, we're gonna put back the air manifold back in, and everything is pretty much back in reverse stage there.